Boo. Spooky. Spooky. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh. You ever have water that's just so warm? Anyways, yo, what's good, guys? It's me, my first video, my first actual video. I actually recorded a video before this, but I wasn't really feeling it. It wasn't really that entertaining. It was a try not to laugh, but there was nothing really entertaining about it. So today I'm going with something different. It's gonna be horror story reactions. So it's animated and all of that. I'm gonna watch some horror stories. I think it's 3 of them. The one I'm watching is 3 true gym horror stories animated by Horror Shorts Party. I'll leave the link in the descriptions if you ever want to watch it by yourself. But yeah, I just ate. Before you get into this, I just want you to know this is a pure reaction with barely any edits. It's just us vibing and reacting to videos together. But yeah, other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. My bad. Oh wait, hold on. Did you get your snacks? Did you at least get a bowl of water or something like that? Okay, let's do this. Who's the voice by? Please say Terrence Nicholson or sign. Yes! Let's go. Alright. Oh, so these were based on true stories. Who's that? God, now this is really loud in my ear.
The next story was inspired by a viral clip of a man at a gym who experiences something quote-unquote paranormal. Here you can see a medicine ball mysteriously rolling towards him. But what happens next is something quite disturbing when you see it unfold. Here's a dramatized version of the alleged occurrence. I've never been one to believe in the supernatural.
Ooh, this animation's kind of clean, can't I?
I've learned that the supernatural doesn't care if you believe in them or not. If they've got a problem with you, you've got a problem. There's always been stories about the old gym I used to frequent. Years ago, the same building was originally a dance studio owned by the most cruel and
look at my boy's eyes. We're just 1 minute 20 seconds. Huh?
As a dance instructor, he was an undeniable genius. The performance.
No, that ain't a performance. What is that?
But those worlds there. Apparently, the old instructor would starve his students if they were cheating, and would lash at them if they couldn't get something right. Worse.
This guy looked like he came straight out of flipping Arkham Asylum or something like that. What
if they talked
this?
Back to him. The story said he would chain them up in a dark room
and
leave them there for hours, sometimes even days. But the worst thing is what he would do to the girls he liked.
Why he scratching his
The old instructor's reign of terror over those poor dancers came to an end when one of them dropped dead in the middle of a session. Legend has it that the girl who died was the most unfortunate of them all. Not only did she bear all of his abuses, but she also knew all of his darkest secrets. Some say it wasn't a coincidence that she died. That the old instructor poisoned her because he did something to her so despicable that
he looks darker every time. Look at him.
Coincidence or not, his dance practice was shut down for good shortly after.
Sorry if I keep looking up
the building he had used
because I'm checking if my phone camera decides to stop recording. It does it sometimes.
It eventually became the gym it is today, but not before that.
I don't like how he looks.
Man faces retribution. Slowly, over the years following his forced retirement, he went crazy. He became more and more tormented by the sins of his past until one evening, he hung himself from the rafters of his own former studio. Ever since the building became a gym and I started working out there, my
Don't tell me that little real clip in the beginning that we saw, don't tell me it's true and this is the gym he's going to after the guy commits suicide and all that.
People say that it's haunted, that it's been cursed by the tragedy of what took place there. But of course I didn't listen. I went there.
Why wouldn't you?
Not only were there other
see, people like this are why horror movies are made.
None of us had ever seen or heard anything strange in the building.
Why do you think it's always the white people? No racism, but I'm being real.
This gym might be haunted. Either I'm getting stronger or something supernatural is helping me lift these weights.
Really now? Dude, do you need a spotter? You know you shouldn't lift without a spotter.
What do you mean without a spotter? I got a spotter looking over my shoulder everywhere I go in here.
Oh yeah? Like who?
Dude, just spot me. You're asking too many questions.
There used to be 5 or 6 acquaintances of mine who would frequent the gym. I'd run into at least one of them every single time I went, and often there would be a few of us there at one time.
Okay, all of you
But
putting in the
I
work.
suddenly stopped seeing all of them. It wasn't
I
like
need
they
to
had
put
all
in the
slowly
work.
gotten demotivated or decided to try to
Both
the gym.
physically and in
They just
YouTube
vanished.
and all of that.
One day they were there, and the next they were nowhere to be seen.
What?
The last day I was there, I was the only one. There might have been the odd stranger passing through here and there, but for the most part I was alone. I didn't think this would mean anything except that I wouldn't have anyone to talk to. So I set my stuff down in my usual place and started stretching. I was standing before the mirror wall where the dumbbells were stored. To my knowledge, that's the same mirror that was in the dance studio. And I couldn't help but think about all the terrible things that must have happened in that mirror. I stared into my reflection.
Sounds gonna pop up.
And that's when I heard a loud bang behind me. A chill ran down my spine. I had to stop stretching for a moment.
I'm sweating, and that wasn't really a jump scare as well. That wasn't. As you can tell, I'm not built for the horror.
Myself.
I'm just
I
trying to
looked
build
around
my
and
horror
found myself still
tolerance.
alone, but
If that's the
nothing was
thing, you
moving
know what I
like
mean.
I thought it was. I stepped away from the mirror and returned to my bag, meaning to check my phone for a text that would take my mind off the situation. But somehow, it wasn't in the place I'd left it.
No,
I started
what?
digging through all the pockets in my bag looking for it when I heard it ding behind me. I turned around and it was perched on the edge of the rack that all the medicine balls were stored on. How the hell did you get over there? I quickly
Why are you
snatched it before a
speaking
gust
to
of
it?
wind could knock it over and went back to
As
my
if it's
bag
gonna
to make
respond.
sure it
Oh, I
wouldn't
got
be
hit by
misplaced this time.
someone put it here.
That's when I heard something behind me again. A thud that I felt
Oh,
in my
no.
feet. When I looked back to the rack, a medicine ball had fallen off and started rolling along the floor towards me.
Who's there?
You'll never leave! Never!
I snapped myself out of my trance and grabbed all my things. I was stunned. I thought I had gone crazy. The mirror, the noises, the phone, and now this? It was all too much for me to ignore. I snapped myself out of my trance and grabbed all my things, heading for the exit as quickly as I could. I just wanted to get out of there before any other ghost-related thing could happen, but I was too late. I
Huh?
was halfway to the door when I felt something push me. I
What?
slipped across the slick floor and fell on my back. I was still sliding with my momentum when something grabbed a hold of my leg and started dragging me all over the place.
Help! Help! Somebody help me!
I screamed for help, but there was nobody around. I could feel my body literally levitate off the ground as I did everything in my power to yank my leg free. I dropped my stuff on the floor when I fell and left without it. I scrambled to my feet and ran the hell out of there. Every time I tell this story, the public
Hey,
usually
yo.
gives me a cold shoulder because it simply sounds too good to be true. But unfortunately for them, the gym camera footage says otherwise.
Oh look, this shows it. What the hell? Look, he actually tried leaving. Hey yo. No. Okay, this is different one. Oh, that guy's swole. He's
The
swole.
next gym story is quite relatable for any gym rats out there.
No, but real talk, that one left. The last one left shivers down my spine.
You're bound to encounter individuals like these, as they usually like to show off and hog machines as
I
if
know,
they
I hate
own
these
the
people.
establishment. Here's a dramatized animation based on these kinds of scenarios, but of course, gone wrong. I've always been skinny. As a kid, my relatives would always
Skinny
tell
is
me
an
that I would
understatement
bulk
for
up
that
when I
word.
hit puberty, but of course, the opposite happened, and I just leaned out even more. By the time I got into college, I was sick of always being known for being skin and bones. I took matters into my own hands and started working out at my community gym 5 days a week. Of course, the contrast between me and all those super jacked meathead dudes loaded up on pre-workout at the gym always made me worry about what they were thinking, if they're judging me or not. Whenever I'm working out at my gym, I'm never too far from the most beautiful, irresistible goddess-tier woman I've seen anywhere in the world. The sight of their tight bodies keeps me motivated and into the mindset of the grind, so I can get to a point with my body where I can feel confident enough to actually go up and talk to them one day. This is all a fantasy, of course, as I sure have a long way to go until I can look like the dudes those girls are interested in. For the longest time, the one
Why
on
do
top
they always
has been a
look like
man
that?
who calls himself Hugo. I'm pretty sure that's not his real name because this isn't the year 1845, and I think he
Right.
just likes the sound of it because it's so close to huge. As corny as it is, the name is earned. He really is the biggest, most muscular man who comes to the gym, a legit bodybuilder. He's always flexing for the hottest girls to get their attention, and he often leaves with one of them. All the other men suck up to him, but I know they're terrified of bringing their girlfriends around him, because if he ever made a move, there would be nothing they could do to stop him from stealing their girl. The fact of the matter is nobody has the power to resent him for anything he does. He basically owns the whole gym. He spends several hours there every single day, and he always takes forever with the machines. You'd have a death wish if you ever told him to stop hogging them, though. If anyone smaller and weaker than him is using a machine he wants to get on, he'll do whatever he sees fit to kick that person off and take it for himself.
Nah,
Time's
see,
up,
people like
Twig.
that
It's
out of
Hugo's
pocket.
turn.
Why?
I
Let
just
people
got
do
on
what they
5
want,
minutes
man.
ago.
Stutter! Get off unless you want to be my punching bag!
Okay, I'm sorry.
Everything about you is sorry.
He made it a point
What?
to not even use the leg press after kicking me off it. He just sat down in it and started flexing for some girls that were nearby.
You know, I can deadlift 6 stacks of 45s on either side of the barbell.
Look at the way his mouth is moving.
And I can bench press 5 plates, but only for a rep or 2.
Oh, we know, Hugo. We watch you do it every day. What is that, like 10 of him?
You guys have bad taste.
It could be half as strong as me.
I was on the other side of the room by the weight racks, which meant I could see them behind me in the mirror, staring at me and gawking at my proportions. They saw me looking back and started to whisper, so I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I knew it was probably about the size dumbbell I was using. I had just recently
Why do they
started
look like
lifting,
they're plotting
and
on
because
him,
I was
though?
so thin and weak, I had to start on literally the smallest weight in the gym. I should have known better than to stick around after talking to Hugo.
Hey, Stickman! Yeah, I'm talking to you.
This is
Get over here and
Stickman.
bring me the biggest dumbbell they got in here.
My heart started pounding immediately. His shouting had gotten everyone's attention, and they were all looking at me. I walked all the way to the other
Hey, when someone's big, you bring out the blick.
far side of the rack and found the largest weight. It was a full 100 pounds. I could already feel the blood rushing to my face. I had no idea if I could even lift the thing, let alone
100
carry it
pounds?
across the room. But I had to try
How much
anyway.
is that? I
It
don't even know
felt
the
like
proper
it was nailed
conversion.
down. I heaved and heaved, but it would barely budge. The snickering surrounded me, and my vision closed in. Finally, I managed to pick it up long enough to get it off the rack, but I dropped it immediately. I didn't even have the grip strength. Everybody was laughing. My
Why are you
stomach
guys
was
doing it
crawling
though,
up my
laughing?
throat. All I could think to do was roll the weight across the floor. When I finally got to Hugo, I could see the prideful belittlement in his eyes.
Are you serious? This is the heaviest thing in here? Pathetic. No, there's gotta be something better. I got it. How much do you weigh?
120?
120? Well, I guess it'll have to do. Come here.
I couldn't even react before Hugo grabbed me by the shirt and pants
What?
and lifted me up into the air. And then he started to curl me like a barbell with ease, flinging me around like I was actually a stick. I struggled, trying to break free, but it was no use. He had a vice grip. He curled me probably more than 20 times
No,
before
look at
he
my
finally
dude's legs.
dropped me on the ground. I've never been more humiliated in my entire life, and I had an entire childhood full of humiliation. I felt the embarrassment bubbling, the simultaneous surge of impotent rage and pathetic tears. I didn't dare try to square up with Hugo. I knew I couldn't handle the steroid-fueled aggression. So I just scrambled up to my feet and ran outside before anyone could see me crying.
You can't do anything that you can't do, if you know what I'm saying.
Later, I did everything I could to be unseen. Hugo was there, of course, but when I arrived, he was preoccupied with tormenting some other poor schmuck. I started with some cardio on the treadmill, but I didn't get half a mile in before I heard him calling out to me.
Hey yo, barbell buddy, how about you come and spot me, huh? You like the sound of that?
He was acting like he was affording me some great privilege to be in his presence, but his voice was dripping with a sarcasm that made it clear he had some other intention behind the offer. I got off the treadmill and walked calmly over to the bench he was hogging. By the looks of it, everyone that had been around him a minute ago had gone off to do their own thing, and it seemed like Hugo was about to pull some sort of stunt to get the attention back. He had the barbell loaded up already, with 5 plates on each side, plus an added 20 pounds on both ends.
Watch me hit this PR.
He laid flat and readied himself. I put my hands lightly on the bar for support and waited. He lifted the bar off the rack and slowly lowered it towards his chest. I could already tell that it wasn't going well. The whole bar was shaking, rattling the plates as he struggled. He bottomed down, then lifted it up about 3 inches. Right about there, he stalled. His eyes suddenly went bloodshot, the veins in his neck bulging more than I've seen on a person. Then, right as the fountain of blood began to spray from his nose, the bar dropped onto his chest. I was far too weak to give him enough help to lift it off, so the whole thing slowly slid down until it was pressing on his neck. Hugo started choking and spitting blood, flailing his legs around in a futile struggle that was a lot quieter than you'd expect. I kept trying to pull it up, but it was no use. I started to call out for help. Help! Help! But nobody in the gym wanted to come to the aid of a scrawny little stick like me. They had no idea that I was calling for help on the behalf of Hugo. It was almost a full 3 minutes later before anyone strong enough came by and lifted the bar off, but by then, it was too late. Hugo was motionless, and his bowels and bladder had been relieved. The bar had crushed his windpipe with ease, and now he was just a big, dead slab. Ever since then, the gym has been much more peaceful. The death was ruled an accident, and nobody even thought to suspect me for anything. Little do they know, I had just enough strength to keep Hugo from pushing the bar over the side to save himself. I have no idea why he wanted me to spot him on the PR attempt, but it sure was a great opportunity to pay him back for the way he disgraced me.
Do we just have like a random twist? You know when that plot twist just comes in heavy.
The last picture?
Alright, this is the last one.
Right
last
there.
one.
And you're lying. So delete it right now before I make a scene. I swear to God. Delete it right now before I make a scene. I want to see it. Yeah, let me see it. No, delete it right the now. That's very disrespectful. How dare you? How dare you?
This has got to be one of the most intense clips on the net. A gym creep caught red-handed and put on blast to the general public. What came of this situation was nothing short of disturbing, as this was the kind of thing most females have to deal with during their workout. The female in question records the confrontation with the creep on her cell phone. Here's a dramatized version animated by yours truly. I worked out frequently at my local gym called Planet Fitness. I'd like to call myself a seasoned gym rat, as I had a habit of working out till I experienced hot flashes where I would see nothing but white for a split second.
Go now?
The gym was known for containing mostly females since it didn't have the same heavy-set equipment that another fitness center had, like LA Fitness, though there were the occasional men that attended, which wasn't really a bad thing if they weren't looking at me during my workout so damn often. One day, while I was doing my routine at the gym, I saw this man doing some warm-ups. His eyes fixated on me.
Ugh, how typical.
I thought to myself. I had encountered a lot of men before who used to flex their muscles at an angle where I could see them, or converse with me, hoping they could get my number in the end. So I assumed this guy was just one of them, and I went on to do a series of drop setting, which required me to
Bro, why does he
lift and
he
drop
looks like
weights
that
about
troll
20
face?
times. Moments later, I could see from my peripheral vision that the man was no longer stretching, but staring dead at me. I was used to guys glancing at me every now and then, but there was something about this man's gaze that made me feel uneasy. So I decided to transfer to the other side, where I could no longer see him. However, when I transferred, it didn't take long for him to find me and continue Googling. When I turned my gaze towards him, he smiled and began waving his hand, revealing crusty yellow teeth. Thinking that he might come close if I waved back, I simply averted my gaze and approached an instructor, pretending to inquire about the sessions he offered. However, this man was adamant. He stood as he watched me converse with the fitness trainer, and when the coach noticed him, he, too, was creeped out, prompting him to step forward. Then, facing the creep, he asked, "Is there something you need, buddy?" His face began to sour, and after gritting his teeth in frustration, he shouted at the instructor, "You're interrupting my workout, Mr. Steroids! Can't you see I'm trying to work out? How about you leave the young lady alone so we can all enjoy ourselves?" I couldn't help but feel disgusted at his "leave the young lady alone so we can..."
Don't he sound like one of those people that, "Can't you see I'm trying to work out here?" Man, you ain't working out. Look at you with your rinky-dinky arms. Ain't no muscle there. I don't see no tone, no definition.
To another Planet Fitness location the following day.
The definition is on your chin, my guy.
When I arrived at the new gym, it felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And I'm not talking about dumbbells. I began to immediately lift weights freely without having to worry if some creep was eyeballing me. I felt like I was finally able to push myself to my max and began experiencing hot flashes that I attributed as my body telling me to take it easy. However, to my horror, I saw the same guy
if he comes next to you,
staring right
I'd
at
bang
me.
him up. You're doing gym. You know how to use the strength, right?
I had a psychotic stalker on my hands. Disgusted, I transferred to the other side of the gym, and somehow it was just like yesterday. However, this time there were no fitness trainer, and there were a lot more women than men doing sit-ups and yoga. He did follow me as I anticipated, and he angled himself so that I was still in his line of sight. Then, moments later, when I gave my protein shake a jiggle, I saw the creep oogling me once more as he curled his fingers around those dumbbells. And even when I wasn't supposed to look, I couldn't help but notice all the mess he created from drooling and wetting his shorts. Even the women next to him moved to another area, apparently frightened. Bothered by this, I transferred once more. Luckily, this gym was much more spacious than the last one. However, moments later, as I was filling up my water bottle,
don't tell me
I was
that this
startled
gym.
at the sight of a man crouching next to the fountain, licking it passionately like he was a dehydrated dog, with his eyes in contact with mine.
Stop licking your lips at me, you freak!
I jolted in fear and threw the bottle at the creep, fleeing the area.
I wouldn't just do
Then,
that.
as I
I'd box
approached
him.
the elliptical machine, I noticed the man still following behind me, hissing me off. Moments later, while doing some squats, he came to the bench, and I could feel him pressing behind me. So I moved to another squat rack, where the freak followed me, pressing behind me once more.
Bro, he probably got like 5 kg only on that.
And give this creep a front row
Those are like fake plates,
I
and
asked,
the only weight is from the
infuriated,
bar.
But instead of saying something in return, he chortled in a condescending way that pushed me to my limit.
Alright, that's it. I'm calling the cops on this one.
He grabbed my arm tightly and whispered, "Come on, don't ruin the fun. Just play along."
Let go of me!
I scowled as I yanked my arm away from him.
Look at my man's brows.
Okay, you win. No cops. I promise I'll leave. He turned his back and went in another direction. When the coast was clear, I went back to squatting, my mind finally at ease. However, just when I thought everything was smooth sailing from here, I saw a bright flash of light from the corner of my eyes. And the creep was there with a cell phone in his hands. When he noticed me glaring at him, he pretended to be talking to someone on the phone, and I completely lost it this time. I yelled amidst everyone in the...
Hey, not that I'm saying sorry, the lighting is terrible. Not that I'm saying I've been in situations like this, but we all know when you're trying to take a picture, maybe in public, and you just don't want people to think you're taking a picture of them or something. So you make it look like you're talking on a phone, but you're actually taking a video or a picture. Am I the only one? Cause you know, whenever I just take a snap or something of my surroundings, just to show I'm somewhere, I feel like it's so awkward if people see me do it. That's why when I do it, I pretend I'm on the phone. I don't know.
The
Maybe it's just
gym,
me.
letting them know that there was a creep in our presence.
Were you just taking a photo of my butt, you creep?
The man's confidence diminished as the
look
other
at-
women in the
they're
gym
pressing him
glanced
now.
at him with abhorrence.
Hey, answer me when I'm talking to you.
In an attempt to save face, he replied, "What are you talking about? Don't be full of
He
yourself,
does not
woman.
sound
I
how
was
he
talking
looks.
to
That's what's
someone on the
bothering
phone."
me.
Don't you dare lie to me, you pervert. I saw that camera flash on your phone.
I grabbed his phone and started browsing through his gallery, which
Finally.
contained candid photos of different women working out in the gym. Then, among the latest images were pictures of myself, squatting.
Delete these photos right now. Do you understand me? Right now.
I exclaimed as I pushed him frantically. Okay, I'm doing it. Sheesh, so sensitive.
This
Show me
voice
you've
acting is
deleted
good,
all
by
of
the way.
them. Show me.
He displayed an empty gallery, cussing me for being a killjoy, and finally left the gym. I cried as some of the other women approached me to offer some comfort.
So why you man helping now? I swear you guys walked away.
Flashes were probably just flashes from that creep's cell phone the whole time.
But anyways, if you guys did enjoy it, obviously go crazy, go super on that like button, make sure you subscribe, and yeah, turn on that notification so whenever I upload, you know instantly, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that was, I can't lie, I got the shivers from that. I decided, look, it's night time. I made it real for you guys. Just, I'm getting in the zone. I need to make it cinematic and all that. You know what I'm saying? It is currently, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, you can. Oh, I can't point with my life. Yeah, do you see that? That's the moon. Yeah, it's currently 11:30, so I'm gonna go watch some YouTube and chill. But yeah, I'll edit this, and it'll probably be ready by, I don't know, Wednesday. You never know. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy, and until next time, peace.